Hi, dear language learners. Here's a quick hack how you can kind of pull yourself out of this feeling that comes up often. I have that myself frequently when I study a language. It's kind of thinking, oh my God, no, I can't. It's so complex. To break free from that complexity trap, it's actually really easy. You need to go small. And I say that on purpose, really easy, because the more you program yourself on a small, tiny nano piece of sentence that you will practice, and the more you say it's so easy, the more you will actually hack yourself into it's not that difficult at all. The golden success gems from social psychology to study a language in a brain-friendly way, and that you actually finally will become fluent and speak with unshakable confidence. Now, this hack I want to share with you today is something I use on a daily basis because, as any human being, I also suffer from that complexity trap that we all have. When we study anything new, we think, oh my God, it's so difficult. This will be so big. How will I organize myself? How will I do it? I will never get there. Look at them. They speak so fluently and I'm not. And all that kind of negative self-talk that kicks in when we see only the result that comes with years of practicing something, and then we compare ourselves to them and we think, oh God, I will never, and then we stop. And this is exactly what I want to avoid you falling into. Well, I call it the complexity trap because we see the huge mountain and we don't see just the next step. And the reality of brain-friendly learning is actually just see today, just see your next step of today. I mean, when you're talking to people, you will not dive into all the different vocabulary parts that you've ever learned in your language you're speaking currently. You will only use those sentences that you need for your everyday social conversation. So, what you need to focus on is, and these are the elements of the Everyday Nano Method. And by the way, for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't downloaded yet the Everyday Nano Method, check out the link to my website in the description and check out the Everyday Nano Method. It basically brings together social psychology and language learning, and it brings you the best of the mindset shifts that if you change these ways of thinking, language learning will become so easy and so joyful. And so I have already said one ingredient. There's three ingredients that you need to put into place to focus on your everyday life practice. And the first one is joy. You only want to focus on sentences that interest you, that bring you joy. It needs to be focusing on something that you would say anyway, that you like saying, that you like talking about, that you need in your real life. And the second element is actually it needs to be small. Just focus on the next few sentences you need for the next social situation. Or if you haven't got any things planned, then what did you say yesterday? How could you have said the same thing in your target language? And the third little element is it needs to be something that if it feels just at the edge of being overwhelming, it needs to be smaller than that. So what I always say to myself when I feel overwhelmed or start to have that feeling, oh God, I will never, stop yourself right there. Don't believe your own thoughts. Say to yourself, okay, go smaller. I need to go smaller. The smaller you go, the easier it becomes. And if you add all these small steps of everyday practice up, then you actually will see that you have climbed the whole mountain. So let me know in the comments how this resonates, what you use to pull yourself out of your own kind of, internal ruminations of how you will never, these kind of things, how you break free. And let's share our experiences here on the channel because YouTube is perfect for sharing joint experiences and then from learning smarter and not harder. Thanks for spending the time with me today and see you in the next video.